Good morning, Eric Mortensen here out of Shakopee, District 55A, and it is Friday, March 12th, one day before the one-year anniversary of Governor Walz unilaterally declaring himself the King of Minnesota. Now, you may not recognize where I'm at, because I think a lot of people don't realize that our state capitol, much like Washington, D.C., has been fortified with this fence for the last 10 months. This week we reached out to the Sergeant of Arms and we asked him how long can the public expect this fence to be up around its capitol? And he said indefinitely. Further, he said they're going to continue to fortify the capitol over the coming months. In fact, our member directory, a little booklet that includes all of the members of the legislature, the cover of that booklet is a picture of the state capitol with this fence and a woman walking by with a mask on her face. That is by no accident. That was a professional photographer that stood here and took that picture. That is propaganda. They're trying to normalize this fence and the wearing of masks. And as this fence indicates, no public is allowed. For the last year, no public has been allowed inside our state capitol building or our state office building where the legislators are supposed to be working. The political class inside these buildings have long decided that it's fine if us lowly Minnesotans go to the Walmarts, the Menards, the Targets of the world, any big box store you'd like. That's perfectly acceptable, but they've decided they're far too important, they're far too vulnerable, and you're far too contaminated to enter into their workspace and address your grievances with your elected representatives. I'm convinced the real reason is they know you're pissed off. You want your voice heard because nobody answers these phones, and they just don't want to be confronted. Here we are inside the Capitol, Friday afternoon, a business day. Any Minnesota business that's allowed to be open is certainly at work. It's so quiet, empty hallways, we could probably hear this pin drop. Here we are at the governor's office. This is my fourth visit to him in the last couple months. Every other time I've stopped by to say hi, no one's been here. So we'll see what happens. Now, I want to dispel a common misconception because I've had people asking me, well, next time you see the governor, you give him a piece of my mind. Well, here's the reality. I've never met the man. He doesn't talk to us. He doesn't ask for our advice. He never comes into our offices. I have yet to meet Governor Walz. So although people think that we're some sort of co-workers just because we're all in St. Paul, it couldn't be further from the truth. And I see at no point in time when we ever will cross paths. Here we are in the state office building where legislators of the Minnesota State House would typically be working. This hallways would typically be bustling with people, constituents, lobbyists, lawmakers. It would be packed with people in these hallways. There are no lawmakers, there are no legislative assistants, there are no lobbyists, which is kind of a nice thing. There are no constituents, which is a really bad thing because no public is allowed in this building whatsoever. We're still at the state office building. We are outside the office of the Speaker of the House, Melissa Hortman. And it's very dark in here because there's nobody around. I guess they're being very green and keeping their lights off and being responsible. Well, let's see. Maybe she's at work today. Speaker Hortman? Speaker Hortman, you working today? There you have it. So this is your state government at work. Are you impressed? I hope not. You shouldn't be. We have invested 18,000 legislative hours year to date. What do we have to show for that work? 4 bills. We've passed 4 bills out of this body. Every single one of those bills is just a simple extension related to COVID issues. Issues we wouldn't even have if we brought the emergency powers to an end. There is no urgency in the legislature to get anything done, and there are urgent matters at hand. Today is March 12th, which means in 3 days, businesses will be filing their taxes. That'll be their deadline. And we have this urgent paycheck protection program that we tried to move on the House floor a couple days ago. Even the Democrats voted against their own bill. Look, I'm a business person, and I categorize things into 4 quadrants. And they're based off of high or low urgency or high or low importance. In that quadrant of high importance, high urgency, they require immediate attention. But the House Democrats don't care. They take no action on this because they're clearly waiting to roll it into gigantic omnibus bills instead and politicizing the issue. Now, if you don't like this, like you shouldn't, well, you can call me, you can email me. Our new House Republican caucus, they're coming to work. But outside of that, you're out of luck. No one else comes here. No one's answering their phones. I'm hearing nobody's responding to emails. But if you get a hold of someone on our staff, you're going to get a response. My fellow Minnesotans, your state government is failing you. I need to say that again. Your state government is failing you. You should be demanding better from your governor. You should be demanding better from your lawmakers. Now, I'd like to say, contact your representatives and demand better. But as you've seen, they're not here. So, my call to action is write a letter to the editor of your local newspaper, and in that letter, demand that your lawmakers be better. Thank you for watching.